Rosetta Stone is? Remember how they mentioned that? Have you guys heard of that before? So that's one of the keys that unlocks languages, right? So there's always like a key somewhere. So it had 3 languages on it, and that helped decipher Egyptian language, because you actually have to decode it backwards, right? Reverse engineer, that's how language works. We're reverse engineering the language back to time periods overlap. So the Rosetta Stone's a perfect example of how these time zones, like, you know, they overlap, and you have the Greece culture visiting Egypt while Egypt is still thriving in its death throes, but they overlap. And that is what a Cleopatra is. She overlaps between Rome and Egypt through her many marriages and love affairs, which is why we are all so fascinated about her. Okay, so I want to talk about Akhenaten a minute, because there's just a couple pharaohs that changed everything in Egypt, and Hatshepsut is one of them. She made the largest obelisk and temple. Her temple is one of the most famous temples. If you go to Egypt, you're absolutely going to go visit that one. The other famous pharaoh is Akhenaten, and unfortunately his temple was destroyed, and his body was never found, and he was completely erased from history, and he is the one who created the sun god domes. See this little sun disk? This is really important. The sun disk. This is the symbol of Ra, which is the sun god, and we see, like I showed you, you see it in our day-to-day advertising in life. Bust is one of the most famous busts. He had actually a couple wives though, okay? So usually you only get the most famous or the most special one in artwork, but he also had this wife, Kia, and children. But he's most famous for his 6 children, and that he created this temple. I guess what I decided to do was just watch a bit of this one.
Akhenaten, Egypt's most controversial pharaoh.